Yo, Disciple fam, what's up? This is 12 Planet, and here's my top 10 favorite songs of all time. I have to do this in chronological order because if I tried to do this in terms of ranking, I would just stumble all over myself. Anyway, kicking it off, it has to be the first song that I remember playing over and over, and I think I remember owning. It was Michael Jackson's Bad. First off, if you haven't seen this music video, it's insane. It's like a bunch of dudes like beating the shit out of each other, but like not really beating the shit out of each other, but they're like kind of dance fighting, and it's pretty awesome. But when I was a kid, I had this Sesame Street record player, and I remember that was one of the vinyls that I played over and over and over on that. My second song would have to be Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. I remember first hearing this song in that movie Lean On Me, and remembering, holy shit, public school must be insane because they're playing this crazy song and there's all this like fighting and violence going on in the background. Growing up, I went to Catholic school my whole life, so that was like my first foray into the real world. However, it probably wasn't like that at most schools because Lean On Me was kind of a fucked up school. The third song I'd have to pick has to be Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg's Nothing But a G Thing. When this song came out, I believe I was in the summer from 4th grade going into 5th grade, and everybody on my block had this album, and everyone had the bootleg before the album actually dropped. It was like so crazy. Plus, like I didn't really know much about weed, so I learned pretty much everything there is to know about weed just from this album. Fourth song I have to pick has to be Bob Marley Jammin'. Now this reminds me of like summer going from 8th grade to 9th grade, where everything was so aggressive, and then finally some chill music came into my life. And Bob Marley was on replay, and that's it. So the fifth song I have to pick is probably Bad Company's The Nine. Now this song dropped when I was in high school, and I remember hearing it for the first time in the rave and just absolutely losing my mind, because it's kind of like this crazy hook that just comes out of nowhere, and like it's one of the most recognizable hooks in drum and bass, and it goes like. The sixth song I'd probably have to say would be Conflict's Messiah. Now, the first time I heard this was at this rave called Narnia, and Diesel Boy played it. In fact, this rave never happened. It got canceled, and they moved just the entire drum and bass lineup to some warehouse in downtown LA. It was there where I saw a blonde-haired Diesel Boy play this song, and it changed my life. It was the first big Reese tune of its kind. Not to take anything away from people like Trace and Ray Keith, who had used Reese's before in a whole different way. This song took the Reese to the next level, and it was homemade, and it was by my favorite group at the time, which was Conflict. My seventh favorite song would probably have to be Justice, Stress. When I saw this video by Roman Gavras, it freaked me out. Plus it had one of my favorite samples ever, Night on Bald Mountain. That's a Bob James tune that was used in Fantasia. Number 8. Rusco Jehovah. I think this is one of my favorite dubstep songs of all time because it mixes the original vibe of reggae with a little bit of like garage and techno, with a little bit of dubstep and a little bit of pop music and a little bit of this and a little bit of and all kinds of crazy shit. And this song was an anthem. And I remember it was one of the first big dubstep sing-alongs. And every time this song would drop, everyone would go, da, da da da, da 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 da. Number 9, I think it's a hidden gem. It's a song by Skrillex and Diplo, and it's called Amplifier. In fact, they made that song in my studio while I was in the Red Bull studio recording a song with Razkaz about 6 years ago. And I think it was the first time that Skrillex and Diplo collabed on anything, and they turned into Jack U pretty soon after. And the last song has to be Doobie Brothers, What a Fool Believes. Any of my real friends know this is one of my favorite songs. I sing it all the time, especially when I'm drunk. I remember watching this Tracy Morgan stand-up, and he did this song over and over and over, and he like did it so perfect that it's been ingrained in my head. And it's kind of an inside joke with me and my homie Devon, but that's like one of my favorite songs of all time. So yep, Doobie Brothers, What a Fool Believes. Now, what are you guys' top 10 favorite songs of all time? Let us know in the comments below.
Thanks for watching another Disciple video. We'll be bringing out more, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a lovely day.